What's going on, guys? The Originally Tully broadcast. So today I got a new special guest in Austin. Austin, you want to say hi?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing today?
All right. So today, in this video, as you can see on the picture right here, me and Austin have a little bit of difference of opinion as far as what's the better team and who we like is our favorite team. My favorite team, as you guys obviously know, is the New York Giants, and as you can see on the picture, Austin's favorite team is the New York Jets. Both were pretty active in free agency, I'd have to say, but I think both took different steps and different approaches, and I actually think both had really good free agencies as far as what I think wanted to accomplish. I think the Jets wanted to accomplish something very different than what the Giants did. In my opinion, I think Joe Douglas wants to build through this draft. You know what I mean? So in this,
I agree.
In this video, I think we're just going to start off by talking about. We're gonna grade each other's free agencies depending on like how we feel they were, and then from there we're gonna go with how this kind of affects the draft. And obviously, I mean, we just recorded this like 10 minutes after the big news dropped with the Niners trading their pick and the Eagles trading their picks and stuff like that, and the Dolphins, all these other moves, these crazy moves going on. So we're gonna probably go into that as well. But yeah, I mean, Austin, you got anything to say before we start?
No, man. I mean, let's get right into it. We can get right into it. It's looking good so far, though. It's looking good, man. A lot of stuff coming up. A lot going on with the Giants and Jets, bro. Excited to see what the future holds.
So like, listen, everyone has been sleeping on New York for a while, and I remember we've been talking about this for a while. As far as like, we don't get why free agents don't want to come here. Like, we are like the media capital of the world. Why do people not want to come to the Giants or the Jets? I never understood it. To me, it never made sense to me. And we both have
now you see,
decent histories.
From an historical standpoint, I get why free agents don't want to go to the Jets for sure. I mean, like after like the Rex Ryan era with Todd Bowles, we weren't winning any games, man. We still don't win games.
Yeah,
we won 2 games last year, man.
Yeah, fair, but still, I mean, with the media,
you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to get like a lot of free agents to want to fucking come to your team after it's like, yeah, I mean, they won 2 games.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I do think that the Giants had a great free agency, man.
I agree with you as well, and I love what the Giants did. As you obviously know in my past videos, I'm a huge fan of what we did, and the moves that we made. But I'm also a huge fan of like what you guys did, because you guys did some low key signings that I don't think people kind of appreciate enough, to be honest with you. Because
they were.
I think the approach the Jets tried to make is Joe Douglas wants to get this team super young, right? He wants to build it super young, and he has like, I think he's got like 6 for picks in the first 2 rounds for the next 2 years or something like that. What's the number again?
Yeah, I think it's like ridiculous.
5. Yeah, he's got a crazy number for the first 3 rounds too. This man's got a lot of picks. So obviously, I think he wants to build this team young, build it through the draft, and I think he wanted to just address certain pieces like the wide receiver position. You guys really didn't have any kind of X factor wide receiver. You had some young guys.
Jamison Crowder was really our wide receiver 1 last year.
Exactly. You had some young guys like that guy that you guys drafted last year, Mims.
Yeah, Mims.
You had Mims. He was a little hurt. You don't really know what you got there.
Yeah.
You didn't really have your true guy. You didn't really have your true wide receiver. And I think that signing of Corey Davis, I don't necessarily say he's a wide receiver 1-1, like for sure.
I wouldn't put him there either. I
don't think he is, but he gives you a dynamic.
But I think that the Corey Davis signing was more for, like, I think it was more of a scheme fit for our offense. You know what I mean? I think because he's a really good like down the field blocker. He's like one of the best wide receiver down the field blockers, and that's what like a lot of the 49ers run scheme fits come off of. You know what I mean? Like they have great run scheme fits, and I think Corey Davis fits that so well. That's why we signed him. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I also think like, you know what, he has his games too. Obviously, like he played with AJ Brown at the Titans, so like it's kind of hard. Sometimes he would get shadowed a little bit, but he'd have his games too where he would outshine, Corey Davis. He'd outshine AJ Brown, who is like really good young wide receiver.
Yeah, wasn't Corey Davis like drafted in wasn't he like a top 10 pick or something like that?
He was number 5. I actually think he's the last top 10 wide receiver drafted in the last like 5 years.
Oh, well, I thought OBJ was.
No, OBJ was like 11th or 12th or like.
Okay.
He was like a mid-teens.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. No, because I remember a lot of people. That's when they were saying like, "Oh, don't draft wide receivers first. Like, top 10 picks. They could owe it." You know what I mean? And I was like, I get that for sure. Like Corey Davis definitely didn't live up to the expectation of a top 5 pick. Realistically.
Realistically, 100%. Now, I'm not saying, but the thing is like he's not a bad wide receiver, and you know what? You got him on a relatively cheap deal and a relatively short deal as well. I mean, you have him going, I think like 3 years. You can probably get out after 2 if he kind of is a bum, and it's not that. I think you're paying what, like 12-ish.
I think it was 3 years, like $37 million.
Yeah. Okay, so that's perfect. You're paying him around like 12, something like that, if my math is right. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Yep. So you're paying him somewhere around like $12 million a year, which I think is kind of a good bargain, to be honest with you.
It's not bad. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So, but again, like you didn't go for the prime time premier like a Kenny Galladay, or like you didn't take a push for an Allen Robinson. I think you didn't really want that. I don't think. I think you want like a small.
I think that Joe Douglas he's looking to just build the team. Like we're not in the position yet to like go out and get that wide receiver. You know what I mean? We're not in like the Giants. They can do that because they want to make that playoff push right now. I
totally agree with you, and that's why I think you guys did a good free agency.
All the pieces, like Dan Jones, just needs to like this is it now. He needs to step. He has like 25 plus starts now. You know what I mean? Like 100%. Giants fans are kind of tired of waiting around. See, like he needs to step up this year.
100%. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But that's why I think your free agency was good, because again, and then you made the Carl Lawson signing. You know, I originally thought it was a little overpaid, but it's not too bad. You know what I mean? I'm sure that
I think it's fair. He gets to the quarterback a lot. You know, he pressures the quarterback a lot, and we don't have that. The Jets haven't had. Well, I think the last time we signed like a pass rusher was like 2011 or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, and your last big pass rusher was our guy Leo Williams right now.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I don't know who else.
Yeah, realistically, I don't know who else, it would be.
Yeah. So, but again, these are guys, and then you made one more signing. Who was the other signing? There was like 3 big signings you guys had that I kind of remembered.
We had the
Davis
signing. Lawson. We had the Sheldon Rankin signing.
Okay. Yeah, another D tackle, right?
With the D tackle. Then we had the LaMarcus Joyner signing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's a good corner, isn't he?
Yeah. No. See, the thing is with that LaMarcus Joyner signing, I remember seeing a lot of Raider fans saying like, as long as you don't play him at corner, this is a good pickup.
Oh, really? So he's like a safety per se?
Because he's a safety. But I do kind of like with the Marcus May and him like playing as a safety. I feel like that could be good.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? Again, these are not like crazy. LaMarcus Joyner though is pretty good, but these are not like insane breaking the bank huge signings. They're just. I think they're more.
A lot of our signings were like very like also like 1 years, like you know what I mean, like just like you pay, like paying for your buck, really. Like that's
100%. And you know what though, with this weird cap space that we're in right now, because right now due to COVID, you know how the cap space went down and stuff like that for the first time since its creation. Like this, it went down, and you're going to see a lot of players who feel like they can get more for their buck, like Juju. Like he's going to want his big contract next year, so they're kind of betting on themselves to play well this year and see if they can perform next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
So that's probably why a lot of these players are sort of doing that.
Juju signing. I thought the Jets were going to sign Juju, to be honest, man.
I thought so too, and that's why I was really surprised when he's re-signed with the Steelers. But I honestly think for your sake, I think you guys dodged the bullet 100%.
I do too. I didn't really want. He took less money too than I know the Baltimore Ravens offered him like a couple million more. Same with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
How are you gonna? You know what I mean? Like, I guess he just loves Pittsburgh. I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of teams.
I mean, me personally, like if I'm like Juju Smith-Schuster, I would want to go play with Patrick Mahomes. But
agreed. Especially if he wants to get his 1-year deal so he could prove it and then get his major contract next year. Why would you not want to go with
right? And you're playing with Pat Mahomes, like you're gonna have a really good year.
He's the best. He's the best QB right now in the league for like by a mile. And you have Ben Roethlisberger, who is good, but he's a little bit outside his prime. But to bring it back to Giants and Jets, if I had to get an overall rating for you guys, I think there's 2 different ratings you can work with the Jets. I think like what the Jets want to do, I think it was an A. It was an A free agency, because what you guys are wanting to do is you wanted to like get nice little pieces that are culture pieces that can kind of like when you bring in these young rookies and all these crazy guys you're going to get from having so many picks. When you bring them in, you know what I mean, you can figure it out as far as like you're setting the culture and trying to figure out how to win.
I think that we're really trying to build a culture.
Exactly.
I like that's what we're trying to do, like a young driven culture, because the Jets haven't had a culture in fucking decades, man.
Exactly. Yeah. And same with the Giants, to be honest, too.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It's honestly exciting. Like seeing although like I'm not a Giants fan, like seeing like the Giants go out and like sign like Adoree Jackson, sign Kenny Golladay, Kyle Rudolph. I was like, damn, like I respect that. They're really like they're making moves right now. You know what I mean?
And
like,
you know what?
Trying to. I would. What? Continue?
No, you can do. You're good. You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Like just for like looking into like this upcoming season, like I was talking to Matt before about this. I said to him, I was like, I think that if the Giants like don't make the playoffs this year, it's like a very underwhelming season. Like
it's a bust. I'm at the point now, and it's the first time in a while where I'm at the point now where I'm like playoffs or bust. To be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
I really am.
I would be there too with you.
But another thing,
you guys have the team.
Yeah, no, we have it. Like this is it. This needs to be it. But we'll go into my Giants later.
You have the team.
I want to make one more point with the Jets as far as something that I don't feel like people appreciate enough when it comes to free agency is like, yes, you think like just the players and stuff like that, but something that I think people have to consider it too, and it's the Giants do a similar thing as well with coaching, is finding your coach. And man, like I love Robert Saleh, dude. I love Robert Saleh for you guys. I think that was a huge.
I thought that was a great signing.
I thought that was huge, major signing.
I thought that was like. I mean, he brings some sort of culture. You know what I mean? He brings like a drive to the team that hasn't had a drive in 20 years, man.
He brings exactly
like people like are actually like when I remember reading the signings about like why they want to come to the Jets, and they were like basically Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Like, he was talking to me like he has a vision like what that D line can look like, and I'm really motivated to get there and work with him. I'm like that's like. Finally, like people want to come here because we have a fucking
because you have a guy, you have an actual coach, and I love that. Yeah. And you know what too? It's sort of like similar to Joe Judge because you had a lot of people last year when we signed Joe Judge as our coach. A lot of these these freaking dumb like Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, all these guys like they're not going to want to work with Joe Judge because he's too hard, he's too this. And it's the same thing with Saleh. Like he's too much of a pain in the ass. He's too hard. He's too like in your face and everything, and like a little crazy. And I you know what? Maybe yes, it deteriorates some guys who don't want to come here. It deters some guys from not coming here. But what it does bring, it brings alpha dogs. It brings winners.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It brings guys who want to go in there and change a culture. You know what I mean?
And it brings guys that want to like beat the hell out of each other and compete. And like really fight, and it makes
even at practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Even at practices, they want to make each other better. They want to harden each other. You know what I mean?
100%, and it will like drive people, and it will bring it. Maybe will drive people away, like your prima donnas and like your other guys that who I don't really want in general. But it's gonna bring guys who like want to compete and want to fight and want to play and want to like kick ass.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And another thing too is like everyone's like, oh, he's a like for Joe Judge, everyone says he's a Belichick 2.0, a Belichick Jr. You know what I mean? Same thing. And I think that's honestly BS. And my opinion on this is because like there's some things like Joe Judge, yes, is a little bit of a hard ass at times, but there are times too when he brings out his human side, where he will bring out the factor. It's like, he did that thing with Evan Ingram, who I hate Evan Ingram obviously, but he did the thing with Evan Ingram where like he made a bet with like. Because Joe Judge, I think, went to like Texas A&M or something like that, and Evan Ingram went to Mississippi State. Oh no, Joe Judge went to Mississippi State, and then Evan Ingram went to Ole Miss, and they made a bet like whoever wins that game has to wear the other guy's like gear. You know what I mean? So Joe Judge did like a whole like presser wearing like Ole Miss gear because Ole Miss won the game. So like you know what I mean? He's for the players too, and he will do things for the players as well.
See, that's what I like. You know what I mean? Like coaches. That's what you have to have a coach that like can connect to the players. You know what I mean? You have to have players like be able to relate to who they're being coached by. They like you know what I mean? You got to want to also as a coach to like get everyone on that team better. You know what I mean? Like that's a job as a good head coach. You know what I mean?
100%. And there's a happy medium in my opinion. There is like a little bit of like. You gotta be a hard ass during practice. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. But at the same time, you can't be an absolute dirtbag, scumbag who just is only hard ass. You have to be funny too at some points. You have to be like a human too at some.
You gotta be a personable guy. You know what I mean? You gotta have people like you. You can't be just a dick.
Exactly. And now, so going back to the Jets, so now I have you guys at like a B plus as far as overall, only because you didn't make these crazy signings.
Yeah. I had us around actually. Yeah.
You did it. But I have you guys as an A as far as what I think your mission is, and your mission is trying to get guys that can come in here, show these young kids how to win, show these young kids how to be a pro, be a vet, and everything, and then you take it on with these young kids and build the draft. So I think it is a really good free agency for what you did. It's just it's a B-ish, B plus.
Right, because there weren't any like major like signings, you know, like not like oh my god, the Jets just signed. Like, what the fuck, like.
Yeah, it was not like the major like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, like these guys are not going to like talk about it on their show, but they will be mentioned like on a tweet, and it's like cool, that's fun, this is good.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we go into my Giants, right? And I've said it before. I'm excited. I am. I really am. I really freaking am excited. And I think big ups to Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge because I know they're working together.
Right.
We did we've all the needs that we really needed. We've filled them. We really have.
You got it. And I honestly have to give props to Dave Gettleman for that.
Big time. I wasn't a big believer that he was gonna get it done in one offseason. He did. So I respect it. Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I'm in the same boat. Like, because I've always been because my cousin Liam, he's a huge anti-Gettleman guy.
Yeah.
And now I've always been a believer of like I don't hate Gettleman. Now he does some things I find weird.
Right.
And he is a little weird at times, but I'm not the biggest hater of Dave Gettleman. And in this free agency, I mean, wow, did he shut the haters up?
He did. He did. But even Giants fans, because I remember Giants fans were like, well, of course we're gonna fuck this free agency up. We're not gonna sign. No. He went out and got people. So, I remember Giants fans were like, wow, like all right, yeah, like great job. You know, like we can't say anything else right now.
Dude, literally, we had I'm on Giants Twitter. Like I've never been on Twitter really, and this is like the first time I've ever really been in this Twitter world. And damn, is it like these Giants Twitter so toxic? Like,
oh yeah, dude, Giants fans are ruthless, man.
Dude, it's awful. It's I never understood this whole playing in the Giants New York media. I never understood that. Like literally,
it's the same with the Jets. Jets fans are ruthless too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brutal. After day one of signing, when everyone kind of made a couple signings and we didn't make necessarily huge signings.
Yeah.
Everyone was flipping shit.
That's what I'm talking about. Everyone was like, "Dude, fuck David Gettleman, he's garbage," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." It was dude, that's what I was in the same boat. I was a little upset and I was a little confused, and I was also on the train for a hot second of trade Leonard Williams if he wants his money.
Yeah.
But so now I'll go into individual deals. So obviously day one we made small signings. We signed Devontae Booker, I think, one of our bigger signings on day one as far as it not being even that big.
Yeah.
I like Devontae Booker, to be totally honest with you. Because I think he kind of does a mixture of what both Gallman and what's his name do, Dion Lewis, because Gallman couldn't catch the ball. You know what I mean? He was not a good pass catcher, but Dion Lewis also could catch the ball, and he was more of a pass catcher kind of guy, but he was a midget. No offense to Dion Lewis, but he is very tiny. Yeah. So he would get nailed. He would get
I would always see him get whacked.
And he used to be that kind of that small speedy guy, but now that he's a little old and his legs are not the same.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm happy with Devontae Booker because I think he does the best of both worlds. And also everyone's oh, why are you giving this money to a backup running back? And my thing is yes, is he technically on the sheet a backup running back 100%? But I think he's behind Saquon Barkley. Yeah, obviously, but I think he'd be playing a little bit a bigger role than people might think, because if I'm the Giants and I have Saquon Barkley, who's just coming off an ACL tear, he's gonna get not 25 snaps a game. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Or
I would be very I would be. I mean, it's not that I would be scared to use Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's a freak of nature. Obviously, that man is you know what I mean, an athletic specimen. He's probably going to be okay realistically. But as a precaution, I feel the Giants they shouldn't run him 30 plus, 25, 30 plus times a game. You know what I mean? As he's coming back just off an ACL tear. I mean, what was it? This was his third year, right? He's going into his fourth year, Saquon?
Yes, he's going into his fourth year.
Yeah, so he's gonna want he's gonna want that contract soon too.
He's gonna want it. So right now, the Giants have to determine whether or not before this next year starts, they have to determine whether or not they're gonna pick up the 5th-year option, which I think they will. But then after the season next year, he's gonna want his money. He's gonna want his money, and it's probably gonna be around the time Daniel Jones is gonna want his money too. So there's a lot of interesting things going on. So my thing personally is I'm excited. I like Devontae Booker for that reason. I think he could be a good little pass catcher, better than Wayne Gallman. So I'm happy about that. And it's not that much money.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And then going into like another small signing that we made, we signed like Mike Glennon, who we got him for the cheap, and he's just our backup quarterback.
Yeah, I saw some jokes about that. You know, like they're like, "Oh, Giants signed Mike Glennon." They're like, "Yep, Super Bowl bound for sure." I was like, you know, those jokes where it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Because he's a little bit like a meme kind of guy, and
yeah, he is realistically.
No, I mean, it's fine. I'm okay with him. You know? But I guess to go into our major signings, because I mean, enough with the little small ones. Especially, you probably don't care that much, and nor do I really. Because again, these guys are not major role players. They're just players.
Like the Mike Glennon signing, I'm sure Giants fans are like, "Oh, Giants signed someone." Mike.
I did the exact same thing. I was like, I saw Giants signed, and I was like, "Oh, Mike Glennon, sick." Shut the phone off.
Yeah, like yeah. Okay.
Continue with homework. I was like, that's cool. I could care less.
Yeah, like why would you sign it? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but as far as smaller signings go with John Ross, I am interested to see what happens with him.
Hey, you know what, man? I'm a huge fan of John Ross on Madden. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I always draft John Ross in like whatever league I'm in because I'm like that boy is speed. Like speed kills. All right, speed kills. So I mean, realistically, like. I think the Giants, like, why not? Why not turn him into like a little like offensive scheme guy with like some jet sweeps? Because dude, he's gonna use that speed for something. He's so fast.
Exactly, I totally agree.
Doesn't he have like the official fastest like 40?
Yes, he does. He has the fastest 40 time.
Yeah,
he is at 4.22.
That's crazy. What did he run? Like a
4.22. 4.22.
Yeah, 4.22, right?
Yep. He beat Chris Johnson by 0.02 seconds.
Ridiculous. Wasn't he actually drafted like another wide receiver?
Yep, he was. And you know what? I was totally capped with you when I said top 10. He was drafted the very next year at 9.
He was, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought. And he was a major bust. Bust.
Yes.
Can't lie to you.
He has been
He might have caught like 5 balls that first year.
Yeah, no, he has been a bust. As far as his thing, he has definitely been a bust. I totally agree with you. For sure, and the reason why I like it is because it's 1 year, $2.5 million with only $1 million of that guaranteed. So
and there's no real pressure on him to like perform well or anything, like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, if he does like happen to eat up, it's like, holy shit, like, is John Ross good now? Or if he's not, it's like, yeah, John Ross was never good, so it didn't really matter.
And guess what? We gave him $1 million.
Yeah, it's like a cheap sign. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, all right,
So that's actually one of the smaller signs. I am kind of excited to see what happens. We got a couple small like defensive end pass rushers and stuff like that. They're all dumb. Like we got one guy from like the Vikings who was kind of bad. But going to like Leonard Williams, I talked about this before, and I want to talk to you about this. I am excited. I'm happy about him that we can get that deal figured out and squared away. And I was big like trade him. I'm done with his ass. I'm done with him. And that was only because let me defend my take. It was only because I thought the man wanted like $25 million, and I was like, no, like F. Like,
so did I, though. No. So did I.
Yeah, so I thought he wanted.
I remember we were talking about it. I think the day of the signing. I think we were talking about the day of it, like a couple hours before, and I was like, dude, if he's asking for like $26 million a year, you're gonna have to trade that.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. It's just not worth $25 million. Period.
Totally agree.
So when I saw that you guys ended up signing, what was it like? Well, how long was it? 4 years?
I think it's like 3 years.
Was it 3?
I think it's 3 years, $63 million. Yeah, that's the contract right there. 3 years, $63 million. So it's worked out to where we can get after 2. I love these short contracts. The Jets and Giants have perfected these short contracts.
I do like short contracts.
We had perfected that because originally, again, that was my thing. Leonard Williams wanted originally he wanted like 4 years and then a minimum $23 million. And I was
that's what I'm saying. He wanted to be paid as like a top defensive tackle, and I was like, You're just not. You're good. Cool. Yeah. Love you're good. No, you're good. You're good.
But you're cool. Not. You're not Aaron Donald.
Dude. You're just not like tearing shit up like that.
Dude, I would pay that to Aaron Donald, and that is strictly it because that man can change your entire defense.
Because he gets triple teamed every play.
Exactly. So
that I would just changes your defensive scheme, right? When you have one guy automatically demanding a triple team, it's like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Totally agree.
gotta pay this guy.
Yeah, totally agree. So again, I like that. I like the contract. I like where we're heading with that. And that was the hole we need to figure out. The second hole that we need to figure out on the defense was our cornerback too, and that was one of my biggest things ever. I was so afraid of our cornerback too. It's been hot, steamy, hot garbage for so long.
Who was it last year?
It was a rotation. So it started off with like this guy named Ryan Lewis, or like Ryan Lewis, I think his name was. Then
Wait,
he
wasn't
got
it
hurt.
Logan Ryan?
No, he's a safety.
Oh, okay.
He's our free safety.
Okay.
With Jabril at strong safety.
And then it was
Bradbury at the cornerback 1, and the cornerback 2 was on a rotation. It was like between Ryan Lewis, Julian Love, Isaac Yadam, like pretty much whoever it is. It was I honestly think I could be better than them. I really do.
Really, it was because I don't know any of those 3 guys that you just named.
Yep, I know. I know. I understand. I'm like a Giants super fan. I'm sure like you can name a guy that I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So like, dude, and also too, like every single time, it was so scary because every single time, like, I would see Bradbury on like the other side of the field, like, all right, that's good. That whole spot is locked up, and then I'm just seeing the quarterback stare down the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm not throwing over there, but
our quarterback 2 is, and I would just see him throw there, and just my heart stops for like how the duration of the throw. I'm like, well, this is either going to be caught for a touchdown, or he just catches it. I just every single time it was hot garbage. So the fact that we can clear that up, I think, is so huge. And
Adoree Jackson side, I think Adoree too. Like, I think Tennessee letting him go was a mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
What was with that? Why did they? I'm confused. Was
People
Tennessee's
saying
cap space like that bad?
Maybe that he might have been a cap casualty, maybe because of the cap decreasing. But I think they were saying that like they're nervous about his injuries. I don't know, something about his injuries.
Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Isn't he young though, Adoree Jackson?
Yes, dude, he's like 25.
I'm
looking him up right now,
dude.
Adoree. Sorry, I know it's a little unprofessional, but
I wouldn't. Yeah.
The man's 25. He turns 26 this September.
Crazy. That's so young. That's so young.
26 this September. Come on.
That's so young.
Yeah. So
you're worried about his injury. Like, you're worried about him not healing, right? Like he's 25 years old.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was weird in the Tennessee. Maybe they really are struggling for cap space or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really know the situation. But again, I think that's. Like, I mean, I low-key think our secondary. Listen to our secondary. We have James Bradbury as cornerback 1. Cornerback 2 is Adoree Jackson. Our starting free safety is Logan Ryan, mixed in with Xavier McKinney, who's a stud second-year player. And then we have our strong safety.
I forgot about him.
Yep.
Forgot about that guy. Yeah.
We have our stud.
I like that pick from the Giants. Well, he was last year, right?
Yep. He was our second round pick. And thank God for this is gonna be a weird take. But I'm extremely happy that he fell, because the reason why he had fallen was due to the fact that apparently, I guess at his pro day, this is what I was told. At his pro day, he didn't put up a crazy 40 time because he was cramping. So, but then he was like, "Oh, don't worry. Like I'll ball out at the combine. I'm fine. I'll be good at the combine." Then Corona comes around, and the combine gets canceled, and he never could do that. So he just fell, and he fell right in our lap. So I thought that was huge.
That's great.
People had him going like top 20. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. I remember when the Giants did get him, I was like, dude, I thought this guy was like a top 25. Like, safety.
Yeah, no, he
wasn't he from Alabama? The safety.
Yep.
Xavier? Yeah, dude, great. He was great.
He is a great player, and I'm excited to see what happens with him. So, but again, you have those 3 safeties, and then you have those 2 corners, and then maybe you can mix in. Hopefully, like Darnay Holmes can figure out to be our starting nickel. And I'm telling you, dude, I low key I was trying to tell Jacob Branch. Like at Jacob Branch right now.
Oh no! I saw what you said in the group chat, and I agree. I mean, it's definitely a top 5 defense.
Jacob Branch, you're a bum. Someone tell me who the better secondary is. Give me a better secondary. I can't think of one. Let's try. Can you think?
Could you go with maybe the Ravens or Rams? Maybe.
Rams, I can give you maybe the Rams can compete because they have Jalen Ramsey, who's a stud.
Jalen Ramsey is, he's Jalen Ramsey, so
he's like low key the next prime.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like what he did this year, like, bro,
Gross.
Like
a
it
lot
made me
of
I wasn't like the biggest Jalen Ramsey guy. Like I was like, no, like he's kind of like, like a prick. He's full of himself, blah blah blah. No, he locked up, man. He
stuff.
actually locked up.
He did the clamps. He put clamps on everyone.
Like
So
DK, it didn't matter. Didn't
yeah.
matter.
Yeah, so I think I not to get into it, but I think our secondary is super good. So I'm excited about that. I think our defense, we solidified our defense. Our only problem on our defense truly was, really to me, honestly, our only problem on our defense was our cornerback too. And damn, did we lock it up. Just got to pray to God the kid stays healthy. I hope whatever kind of injury he had or whatever, it goes away and he's good. He stays healthy. I pray to God.
Yeah.
But now back onto the offensive side of the ball, and damn, did I think we did the right thing for my boy Dan.
100%.
I'm a fan of Daniel. I like Daniel Jones a lot. My cousin makes fun of me. He doesn't like him that much. I think what Daniel Jones has is moments of like, wow. He gives me like moments of like, I could see something there. I understand there are times where I'm like, dude, what the hell is that? But there are times too where I'm like, damn, there's something there. There is something right there.
Man, I wasn't all right. I wasn't the biggest Dan. I'm still like not obviously the biggest Dan Jones guy. I can't be because one, I'm not a Giants fan. Two, he hasn't done enough for me to be like, yeah, Dan Jones is a great quarterback in this NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had a lot of problem with turnovers. I'll give him credit. The second half of the season, he stepped up and he did stop turning the ball over a lot more. But dude, I really think he needs to play really well for you guys this season. You know what I mean? Like
if he wants to keep his job, I'm telling you,
he's got like 25 starts now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like he needs to. This needs to.
Giants fans aren't gonna. They're not gonna want to wait another year. They're not gonna want to be like, oh yeah, okay, he did okay, another average year. Like okay, let's give him another chance. No, it's not gonna happen. If he doesn't step up this year, I'd say the Giants are most likely going to get rid of him.
I agree with you, and guess what? It's a win-win situation for me as far as if he does suck it up. Let's say he's awful, right?
Right.
Hope the guy's not. We have the pieces to put in whoever comes in next 100%. To be good, 100%. To be set up. I like the offensive line. Our offensive line is super young. Now, when me and Austin, we're going to be talking. We're going to go into the draft. So I think we will be going – the Giants will be drafting an offensive lineman. But I like our offensive line. It's super young. It's pretty good. It's going in the right direction that I want it to go. And also, we have the wide receiver pieces like any other, dude.
Yeah, you do.
And we have the running back. We have –
that's what I mean. I don't even think the Giants should, realistically draft a wide receiver in the first round.
I don't want to. I don't
think you need it.
I really don't. I think
you should draft an offensive lineman or like a pass rusher or Micah Parsons, like a middle line. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go into that. So I think this is actually a pretty good. Well, real quick before we go into the draft, I'll just talk about. Yeah, I think we had an A off season. I really did. We addressed all the needs we needed to.
I would agree.
And we did it with like pretty decent contracts, and we locked guys up for a pretty long time. I'm excited. I'm really excited. But yeah, so now let's continue as far as the draft. Now, this is something like I had said in my earlier videos. The free agency, in my opinion, as far as for Giants concerned, the free agency is done. I think free agency is done.
I think you guys have I think you did everything that you needed to get done. You know
exactly. I agree with you. And now I think we're on the draft, and I think you're probably in the same boat too, as far as because I feel like Joe Douglas wants to put his emphasis on getting this draft right and figuring the draft out.
100%. Yeah. That's all he's talked about. He's like, if we're going to rebuild the draft, that's what we're going to do.
100%.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, and he has the draft capital to do that. So
100%, yeah.
The Giants are a little boring. I guess we could start off as far as like what I think the Giants can do, and then we can end off of what the Jets are going to do, which is way more exciting and way more interesting.
Jets have a lot of options right now, man. I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna go. I really don't. I don't.
We'll discuss that in like 5 minutes, but let's discuss this Giants pick, and then we'll go into the Jets because, like I said, it's gonna be more interesting, and we can end the video off with that. A little more interesting topic. So I think the Giants are going to go pretty basic. I really do. I think if either Penei Sewell or Slater falls to them, I think they're going to be really excited, especially Slater. I don't think Sewell will fall, but maybe Slater will fall to them. I think it'd be kind of tough not to pick him up. Also, I think there is this other kid like Vera Tucker. I think he's another really good offensive guard that people were talking about. So I would not be surprised if we went with him either, or Micah Parsons. And literally that's all I want. I don't want to get a wide receiver. Some people were saying, and I get the argument to this point. Here's the one point I could see for a wide receiver is maybe they're saying get a wide receiver now so that next year you can cut Sterling Shepard and get rid of him. and now you have a better wide receiver. I can see that point.
Actually, yeah, I can.
I'm not gonna, like, at the end of the day, dude. If
Well, I
we,
mean,
like,
realistically, I think like if like say like a Devontae Smith falls to you guys, right?
yeah,
I think that at that point, then your best bet might be to pick Devontae Smith.
I don't disagree with you at all, or like a Jalen Waddle too.
That's what I mean, yeah. Because I mean that at that point, you would not need to worry about weapons for the next 5-6 years, man.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, it
I
would be
agree.
honestly like stupid the amount of weapons that the Giants had.
Yeah. So again, and I'm okay with that. Again, like I said, I won't be upset if we drafted Jalen Waddle. I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Wow, this is the dumbest shit we've ever done."
Yeah.
But I will be like, "Okay, but who's going to be
like
Daniel?"
Like
we
if
can
there
have all
was
the
like a
weapons in the world.
Rashawn Slater there and you pick Jalen Waddle over, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not upset.
Yeah, it's like, but we'll see how that goes out. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, my thing is like, yes, I love these weapons. These weapons are great. We can have all these weapons in the world all the time. If Daniel Jones can't get more than a second in the pocket, the weapons are never. It doesn't matter with the weapons.
It's useless.
Yeah, they're useless. So my thing is like, I'd rather get like another stud offensive lineman to fill that lineup.
No, I think there's honestly, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think there's like a few really good offensive linemen in this draft class.
There are. And
they're like interior linemen. I saw this one kid from USC that was really good.
Tucker. That's the Vera Tucker kid.
Oh, dude, great. He's gonna be another great draft pick. I think it was like a kid from Michigan or Iowa. I think it was another guard who was practicing on trees. I was like, huh, this guy,
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on here? But I mean, apparently he's supposed to be another like top 20 draft pick. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, like me personally. Here's my ranking. I would like the offensive line first. If not offensive line, and if Micah Parsons is there, I mean, oh my God.
I mean, if Micah Parsons is there, yeah.
Dude, listen to this number. The man weighs 250 pounds and ran a 4.39.
That was him? That was Micah Parsons?
Yeah.
I think I saw that this morning, actually.
Dude, a 4.39?
I remember seeing like some guy this big like shouldn't run this fast, and I was like, yeah, I back then and I was like, is he a D lineman? And then I remember seeing Micah Parsons, and I was like, oh, that's a middle linebacker. He's fucking huge.
Just to put that in comparison, right?
He's massive. I didn't think he was that big.
Saquon Barkley at the combine ran a 4.41. So
that's scary.
Michael Parsons is technically faster than him.
Dude, it's like a bigger and a little bit slower Devin White.
Yeah, dude.
That's terrifying.
I am so all over that kid. I want him so much. I think he's a top 5 player in this draft. I really do.
For sure,
I think he's a top 5 player in this draft, including quarterbacks. Now,
I would agree with you. Yeah.
The reason why he's falling is apparently there are.
Why is that actually?
Okay, so there apparently are.
I saw like a lot of draft picks, like a lot of mock drafts had him like near 8, near like out of the top 10. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. I remember watching a Penn State game. This guy was flying all over the field, dude.
Yeah, that was him. So supposedly, he has some hazing allegations.
Oh, really?
I tried looking into it. Now, okay, I'm just gonna be honest and be fair. If this is what I felt like, I read that supposedly he got into a fight with this kid because he was trying to mess around with the kid. So he put water on the kid, and then the water got on the kid's laptop, and then they got into a big fight, and one of them pulled a knife out, and it got crazy. If that's it,
what
is that like the worst thing?
Oh my God, man!
You know what I mean? Like, is that
I don't know, man. Like as an NFL GM, like if I saw something like that and like that would push like a great player just down a few spots, I'd be like, dude, this is like best case scenario for us.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
Anything, you know what I mean? It's like
I don't necessarily think like at the end of the day, is it great? No. Is it a great look? No. But
no.
And he had something to say about it too. Like, so he apparently it happened like his freshman or sophomore year or something like that. And he said, listen, I'm over that. If you want to not draft me, on
That's
something
what
I
I
did when I'm
mean.
like 18 or 19
Yeah,
years
like
old,
something I did years ago.
like
Okay.
that's on you. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't want
100%.
anything. I don't want to play for you guys. Like I don't.
Yeah, no, I would say the same thing. I'd be like, if you're gonna judge me off of like some shit that I did like 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm like a top player in this draft, don't draft me.
Cool. Yeah, I'm
I'll
cool
go
with
play
it.
for another team that wants me.
Yeah, exactly. So I am pretty. I would be super hyped for him. And also my thing too is as far as like listen, if you put that man in, if you put him in our locker room, there's clearly like some problems with the lock. I've said this before on in my last video talking about Micah Parsons, but there's clearly problems in the Penn
In the
State
Giants locker room?
What?
In the Giants locker room? Are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Penn State's locker room. There's
Oh,
problems
okay,
in Penn State's
okay.
locker room.
Yeah.
And my point is, those problems don't exist in the Giants locker room, and they're not going to.
Yeah.
You know, if he does something stupid, like Saquon Barkley's gonna be like, "Hey, kid, shut up."
Well, that's what I mean. You're also around like grown men who are
Yeah.
like, "Yo, yeah, like this isn't college anymore. Like we're a professional sport team. Like
We're paying millions of dollars to win.
act professional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This isn't like a game, and this isn't college football. This is
And you
we're
got
in the
guys that are not gonna like f around and like Logan Ryan, like that guy's gonna slap him in the face and be like, "Hey, bud."
No, you're gonna have vets, bro. You're gonna have vets that are like, "What are you thinking, bro?"
Like Leonard Williams on the offensive line or the defensive line, he's gonna be like, "Hey, bud, I run this show."
You know,
Stop.
yeah, like I've been here for what? How long has Leonard Williams even been in the league for?
This is going to be
years?
Oh, how long has he been in the league for?
Yeah.
Oh, a pretty long time, I think.
I think
But
like 6-7 years now, right?
This will be Leonard's third year on the team.
Yeah, okay.
Leonard Williams. Let me look him up. I think like 7. He might have got drafted in 2013.
2014 maybe.
2015.
2015. Wow.
I
know he was out of USC, right?
Yep. He was your 6th pick.
Yep. That's right.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of people are also. I remember that he had a lot of hype coming out of college. Another guy, a lot of hype coming out of college. Big hat.
But just to go back into Micah Parsons, the reason why also the Giants are clearly interested in him because there were 2 coaches that went to the Penn State Pro Day. Only 2 head coaches, and that was Joe Judge and Mike Tomlin. So clearly someone's interested in someone over there.
Wow.
So, and there's pictures of Pat Graham, who is my favorite defensive coordinator. There's him and Joe Judge both making small talk with Micah Parsons and talking to him. And I think personally, the reason why they did that is Joe Judge, because clearly this man wants to like talk to people like live in person and like try to gauge their character. And I think what he tried to do there is he tried to like be like, "Hey, dude, what's up? Like, let's like." Are you like the kid that you're getting reported as, or do we see you as a better person? Like when I meet you man to man, shake your hand, like, is this
like
what is this?
Yeah.
And they want to look him in the eyes and be like, "Hey, what's good?" So yeah, I'm interested again in offensive line. Just to wrap this up, as far as my mock draft for the Giants, I want offensive line, Micah Parsons, wide receiver. That is the order, the exact order that I would like to go. But now to go into the New York Jets.
Yep.
And I guess we'll go into your second pick. What do you guys think?
Dude, there's the thing is like there's so much that can happen at that number 2 overall pick, man. There's so much that can happen at that. Because that number 2 overall pick is essentially the first pick in the draft this year. Trevor Lawrence, take him off the board. You know what I mean? Realistically,
yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
The Jets have the number 1 pick this year. The draft starts there.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of low key. Like last year, I actually kind of thought the Giants, mainly more the Lions, but I kind of thought low key the Giants had like the first pick in the draft because we were like, okay, cool. So like Bengals are going Joe Burrow, the football team, Washington's going Chase Young, and then like almost everyone, and by all reports, said the Lions were going Jeff Okudah.
Yes.
I was so those are the 3 guys. Who do the Giants go with? You know what I mean?
And that's what I mean. Like, and now it's just that one guy, Trevor Lawrence, off the board. Everyone else, hey, you can take anyone you want. Yeah,
and you guys have it. So, like, watching Zach Wilson throw the ball, like, how do you feel?
And you know what I just saw today, man? I just saw today, like, our GM having chats with Zach Wilson.
Yep, of course.
He was talking to him, man. He went up to him. They're having some chats. Dude, I don't know, man, because you know what I was thinking about, too? All right, what happened today with the 49ers, Miami Dolphins?
Yep.
You don't think that there's a possibility that the 49ers asked the Jets first with that number 2 pick with the same exact trade? Of course, they're going to try and get up one higher, right?
Wow.
Right? I think that the Jets probably heard that and they're like, I don't know. Which is making me think that they know what's happening at number 2. They know who they're taking, man. And Joe Douglas doesn't leak anything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Okay,
but
so look,
from my perspective, like if I'm the 49ers, I'm going to the Jets first over Miami because they have the number 2 instead of the 3. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask the Jets first for, hey, you want to make this trade? And the Jets had to have been like, no, I think we're going to stay at 2.
But now listen to this. Now, what do you think about this? So clearly the whatchamacallit, like the Niners, this trade up smells like they want a quarterback.
It has to be.
It's a heavy quarterback draft. You got a lot of really young guys.
I think the first 4 picks can be quarterbacks, man.
Dude. Now, especially because I thought the Dolphins were not going to go quarterback.
Yeah, neither did I. But now I think like
the Niners, dude.
It could be Trevor, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and like Mac Jones to Atlanta,
or Trey Lance.
That's what I mean. Like, dude, which is crazy. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you know how many like great players that just aren't quarterbacks in this draft?
Yeah. Like we were saying, Micah Parsons.
That means that's like so that like when you're getting to the 5th, 6th pick, that's when like Philly's there and Penei Sewell is still there and like
Dude, did you not see that? Did you not see that news?
But
the Dolphins just traded back up into the top 10.
That's right. They got back to 6.
They traded between the Eagles and they got a 6th pick.
That's right, dude. So I honestly think that Miami's probably gonna end up taking Kyle Pitts for that 6th pick. I'm calling that now.
I'm calling that too. I totally agree with you. Or like a Jamar Chase. They're going
Mike Gesicki and Kyle Pitts.
And then you got Will Fuller, who maybe could stay freaking healthy. And then you got Devontae Parker. And that kid, that Gaskins kid.
And they just signed Matt Breida. Miami's getting dangerous, man.
And they got a stud defense.
I think they're gonna take fucking Kyle Pitts at that number 6 pick. I really hope. But you know what? I don't know. I really don't know what I want the Jets to do. I don't know. Like, because I mean, I think that if they really believe that Zach Wilson is their guy, and Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur are like, yeah, like we're done with Sam. We want to start with our guy. This is who we want to do it with. Okay, I can't be mad. Although I don't want Zach Wilson and would rather trade back and get like what Miami got today for all those that 3rd pick.
Yeah,
I would trade back with like if some other team like 7th, 8th pick. If Carolina wanted to trade up with us to the number 2 pick, they take it.
Dude, I can see that too. I can see that too.
I can see that too.
Because
I can definitely see them trading up and taking either Justin Fields or Zach Wilson at the number 2 pick, and then giving us like another 2 or 3 more 1st-round picks, and I would be fucking ecstatic with that.
I think you would do that if this is what you want to do. If you're pro Sam Darnold, you do that.
Yeah.
Yep. You do that. You trade with Carolina because Carolina really wants a quarterback too, in my opinion. I like Teddy. They can't go Teddy much longer with Teddy. In my opinion, Carolina wants that quarterback. So listen, you're gonna go. You go to the Jets. You go, hey, dude, we want the first quarterback that's gonna be off the board besides Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
We'll swap first picks, and then if the Jets like Sam Darnold, what they'll do is they'll go, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm probably with the 8th pick gonna end up either getting Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater.
That's what I mean.
2 of the top linemen to protect him, and I'm okay with that. And I'll take that, and I'm gonna get more picks to build my team.
That's what I feel like. That is, I would do that. I want the Jets to do that instead of going out on a limb and taking some fucking BYU quarterback. Like you know what I mean? Realistically, it's like
you're afraid of the BYU quarterback.
You are gambling heavily on this kid Zach Wilson. I get it, like, he's got a very natural throwing motion. Dude, he's played against, like, no comp, man.
Yeah. He
hasn't really had any comp.
No, that's fair.
So it's like, it's hard to kind of judge his talent when he's going against, like, Coastal Carolina's the best team that he plays all year.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're going out on a massive limb taking Zach Wilson at number 2. When has a BYU quarterback ever been picked at top 15?
Well, I think Steve Young. I think Steve Young's the last big BYU guy.
Oh, Steve Young got a BYU?
Yeah, he went to BYU. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Didn't know that.
Let's look this up. Just to double check, I'm like 99% sure Steve Young to BYU. Because I remember, BYU. All right. Because I remember everyone was like, oh, what kind of quarterback came from BYU? And like the other guy would be like, Steve Young. And then I was like, oh, okay, smart.
All right, yeah, okay.
But
I
still,
mean, because Steve Young
two
is
different
Steve Young.
quarterbacks, two different eras, whatever, same thing. But,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a huge risk drafting that kid that close, man.
Yeah, unless they feel like he's the guy. And again, I totally agree with you as far as I feel like the trend for a lot of people. You saw it with Cliff Kingsbury.
And that's what I'm saying. Like they can just come in and be like, no, we want him. We want to restart.
He went in there and was like, yo, your number 10th pick you did the year before, who's going to be your future QB? Exactly. Nah, scrap that. Scrap that. We're going to do my guy.
Nothing.
We're doing my guy. Sorry. Yeah. That whole thing you did, that's bust. Sorry. We're doing my guy.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it's just so much easier as far as because you picked Sam Darnold 4 years now. He's going to his 4th year. You picked him 4 years ago, and he hasn't, like, I don't know if it's a Sam. I like Sam. Maybe in a different system he could perform.
Maybe he honestly, and I think it's the best thing for him, too, though.
I agree. A new start. A new start.
I think he needs a new start, man, because I don't think Sam Darnold, like, is a terrible
I don't think so either. I want him for the Giants. I did when he was in the draft.
Yeah, I don't think he's a terrible quarterback by any means. I think he had no help on the Jets. I think he had no offensive line, no weapons, and the worst coach possibly in NFL history.
Yeah,
that's it's hard to succeed in that environment.
No,
so
you're
it's
right.
like when people do shit on Sam Darnold, they're like he's garbage. But it's like,
dude, like put another quarterback in that system.
It's like it's unfair because he never really like got an opportunity to like ever succeed.
Yeah, I know. But then the other thing is like the head coach. So Saleh and Douglas could like look at the owners and be like, yo, we stayed with your bum Sam Darnold. Like if you guys don't play well still, we could be like, well, you made us stay with Sam Darnold and we don't like him, so we wanted our guy.
And that could create tension too. That I mean, like.
And that's why That's why I think they're gonna end up doing that.
That's why I do think that they might end up. I do think they're gonna end up taking a quarterback just because they, God forbid, like they do have like a bad season again. They're gonna be like, well, we didn't want Sam Darnold here. We wanted to draft a quarterback, and then it's gonna be like this. Oh, I thought we had a vision with Sam. We were gonna build around him now. And it's like I don't want to deal with that headache. Like I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, so I think ultimately
that's what the Eagles are going through right now. Honestly, what are the Eagles doing? They're gonna draft what? Trey Lance? Well,
I love it.
What are you drafting? You just drafted Jalen Hurts. Give the kid another year at least, man. He didn't play that bad. I don't think he played that bad.
I love it.
Like, do you think realistically Jalen Hurts is like played that terribly for them to already like be reconsidering like Trey Lance as a quarterback? I don't think so.
I don't think Jalen Hurts like sucks, but I don't think he's good. And now like I have an Eagles fan, and there's no way he's listening to this. I don't think he listens to my videos anymore. But he's up at school with me, and he's such a toxic Eagles fan.
Right.
Like, dude,
most Eagle fans can be.
Dude, oh my God, Austin, it's so brutal. Like I'll mention like
they're Eagle fans.
I'll mention like I'm like, yo, I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good, and he'd be like, no, I don't think what's his name? Well, Dan, I'm like, yo. It's like, dude, I mean, can you just look at it like without saying Daniel Jones sucks?
Like that personally, you just gotta like look at it from like outside of a fan perspective. Like, do you really think he's that great? You know what I mean? Like,
no, my thing is like you can get because I get very emotional too about it. But like, can you just do me a favor and like don't tell like he keeps on telling me like keep on his defense for Jalen Hurts sucking is like, well, I think Daniel Jones sucks, and it's like, all right, cool. So like clearly you don't feel confident in him because you're not giving me anything.
Right.
There's nothing that you can like give me. You can't give me something.
No, he doesn't suck because.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just saying, "Oh, I think." Well, do you think Jalen Hurts sucks? I think Daniel Jones sucks.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
like don't.
I mean, but it's also like, dude, I really don't think I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think like I remember Paul. Paul was like big on Jalen Hurts for some reason. Paul was like, "Oh, Jalen Hurts."
I never got that either.
Calm down, like another Alabama quarterback went to OU. Like we'll see, we'll see. And okay, I'll give him credit. Like he really didn't play that bad.
No, he didn't play that bad, but he didn't play that great. And I think once like later on the year,
he's like I just don't see him like as like a franchise quarterback. If that makes sense, he doesn't really seem like he
I
could
agree
be
with
like.
you, and I think teams started to figure him out towards the end of the year. Like he popped off with the Saints,
So
and it was
do
like,
I.
oh my god, whoa, look at that! And then
That's what I'm
like
saying.
everyone was like,
He beat the Saints, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Calm down. This is first start."
and I just saw a report actually, and clearly they're not. The Eagles were wanting to trade with the Dolphins for the third pick, I believe, or maybe the Jets. I don't know. They wanted to trade with one of these top teams. I can try to find it right here. I'll try to find the report, but they wanted to trade with one of these, like either the Jets or Dolphins. I believe the Dolphins, in order to get that pick so that they can get Miles, the kid from BYU.
Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson. Oh my God, I'm sorry. They wanted to trade. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, no. I'll try to find it.
Oh, Eagles were trying to trade up to get Zach Wilson.
Yes.
Wow. Like, dude, like honestly, what are the Eagles doing?
Okay, sorry. Actually, no, that's wrong. They didn't. Ian Rappaport came out with a rephrase of his tweet. He said that earlier in the draft, the Eagles felt that Zach Wilson was a strong prospect for where they were, but they felt like moving back and collecting more first rounders for next year to build a team, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that. I can understand that. They thought maybe Zach Wilson's going to fall to them. That's not true. He didn't. But
No.
And he's not going to.
No.
But anyway, the Eagles, dude, I am so anti-Eagles, and it's not even funny. And my biggest thing is, this is why I know this is what they're going to do. I just know it. One of the top 3 wide receivers is going to fall to them because
I think they're going to draft the wide receiver.
Yes, 100%, and I'm going to love it.
Dude, why? Why? Isn't this 3 years in a row now? Wouldn't it be?
I don't know who they did.
It was like JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and they picked Jalen Reagor last year.
Yeah. Oh, but Arcega-Whiteside was like late, like a third round pick or something like that.
So, was he?
Yeah, he wasn't a first rounder. Jalen Reagor was though, and guess what? They took.
I'm almost, dude. Oh no, maybe you're right because I think they took Arcega-Whiteside like over DK Metcalf.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they took Jalen Reagor over Justin
Jefferson.
Yeah. Which nice. Great job.
Like, oh my God.
It's just so tough because like back-to-back years,
I could have told you like Justin Jefferson was definitely the best wide receiver in that class.
Yeah.
I saw him balling out at LSU and I was like, wow, that kid is really good.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's great. I'm excited.
Honestly, I would love being like a Giants fan, just seeing them fuck up like this all the time. I'd be like,
it's so fun. And you know what?
Thank you for being in my division.
I have such an insane hatred for the Eagles right now, especially after that last game. I can't wait. Here's my thing.
My God. I'm not going to lie. Like, I wasn't watching that game. And when I saw what happened, dude, I was like, wow.
Austin, I'm not.
I was like, Giants fans' hearts were just ripped out. Like, oh my.
I'm not afraid to admit this. I cried. I genuinely cried.
No, I might have shed a little tear.
I had a little bit of a tear.
It would also be like so confused. Like I would just be so angry too at Doug Peterson. I'd be like, oh my God, I want to strangle you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I like once bum ass Nate Solfield was in the fourth quarter, I was just kind of sitting there like, I need to watch all of this. I need to experience this. I need to watch all of this. I need to get mad. And I did. It hurt.
Yeah, that would have fueled me with like a different type of rage. I would have been like, oh my God, like Doug Peterson, like I need to kill you. Like,
yeah, dude, it's scary. Here's my thing. If I'm in the Eagles and I'm smart, which I'm not, I'm dumb. Harvey Roseman's a moron, and I'm dumb. Yeah. If I'm the Eagles and I'm smart, you draft like an offensive tackle and you just start your rebuild. Do not start your rebuild.
You draft Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater and you go, okay, yeah, that's a great.
Or those two, or Vera Tucker, or like one of these guys that's gonna fall.
One of them, really, yeah.
Yeah, the top 3. You gotta draft one of these top 3 tackles and just listen. You gotta restart. You gotta just go. Hold up now. Let's restart. And even if Micah Parsons falls to them, you draft Micah Parsons. Like you gotta just do wait a second. Let's restart this. And you don't rebuild a team with a freaking with a skills player. Look at the Giants. We did a weird rebuild. We were like, oh, we're kind of rebuilding, but we're kind of trying to win in 2018 when we drafted Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, you guys did do a weird.
And we did a weird thing, and then it screwed us for a whole year. We could have been way better this year.
Yeah,
This past previous year because it takes you 2 years and
realistically that 2018 draft or what was 2017 draft when you guys picked
2018.
Saquon Barkley. Obviously, like okay, yeah, it's Saquon Barkley, but I don't think it was the best pick for like what you
I
guys
agree
were
with you.
trying
I don't
to
think
do.
it really
You know
was.
what I mean? Because
But
I mean, obviously, yeah,
that's-
Saquon Barkley is a great running back, but
yeah,
a great running back could only be like so great, you know, on a shit team. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? At the time, like
exactly.
it's hard to just like put like oh yeah, we drafted this running back second overall. He's gonna fucking carry us to the playoffs. Like nah, that
Yeah.
not happen. You know?
No. So that's what the Eagles should do, but they're not because they're dumb. They're gonna draft like a Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith if one of them falls to them, or Jamar. If one of those three falls to them, they're gonna draft one of them. And I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be like, yay! I can't wait for us to lock them down with the quarterback that really can't throw the ball to them. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you're probably right. Realistically, I'm not gonna lie.
But okay, yeah. So I have like class actually in like 5 minutes. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I kind of have to wrap this up. But I had a lot of fun. This is definitely something we're gonna be doing way more. Again, like I'm gonna be bringing on. Also, I was telling you, like I want to. This is mock draft season, bro. Like this is mock draft season.
No, I want to come back. Oh yeah, like it's my first time obviously being on. I gotta come back on Thursday once. Yeah. I gotta come back on. I think this went pretty well.
Yeah, this went really well, and this is a lot of fun. But yeah, so we definitely got to do. I want to bring on like Matt. I'm gonna bring on again. Paul wants to do a mock draft. You want to do a mock draft. My cousin probably wants to do a mock draft. I'm gonna bring on everyone. You know, we're gonna start doing mock drafts galore, and yeah, I'm super excited for this. But yeah, do you got anything else to say before we end this?
Sounds good, man. It's been great. It's been great.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. I'm sorry I went a little long. We got a lot in here, and you know, I hope you come out and hope you listen to this, and I hope you enjoy. I'll see you guys later.